Hey, welcome back to Panda Off the Charts. So what's hot in the Strip Clubs podcast on Pantheon Podcast Network? Bob Chiappardi from StripJointsMusic.com has done an outstanding job of bringing us another amazing guest in here. We have got a guy named Tim Montana here with us. First of all, we're going to bring you on and we'll talk about you a little bit. Tim, how are you?
Better than I deserve. Best podcast ever. I'm so excited.
Have you
Say
ever?
hello to our little friend.
Yeah.
It's Montana, okay, man?
My uncle, God rest his soul, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a strip club podcast before?
No, I've been in many a strip club, never been on a podcast. You know, it's good to come clean with everybody.
Sure. Well, you picked a good one here because we are the #1 music strip club podcast in the world. So just thought I'd give us a little plug out here. Tim Montana.
And luckily, we won't be dancing for you, so that's a good thing.
I might dance.
You can.
Hey.
So Tim, tell me, for people who have never heard of Tim Montana, shame on them, but if they've never heard of Tim Montana, tell me a little bit about you and what you want them to know.
Yeah, born and raised in the great state of Montana, third generation. Been making music most of my life since I was 5 or 6 years old, and been touring around the country for a long time. And yeah, we got a song up on the charts right now called Devil You Know that's just crushing and blowing my mind. And yeah, and shout out to some strip clubs in Montana, TEASERS and Three Forks, one of the best.
Ah.
You got to get a Panda in there, or get that DJ. You got to get that DJ to sign up to Panda.
Yeah.
Well,
Is he on Panda? We'll find out. I'll go there tonight and check.
Yeah, research.
I have a reason. So you're doing research for us. Tell the wife.
Yes.
You know.
Market research, honey.
That's right. Yeah. So Tim, man, you have quite the interesting list of fans and supporters. So, David Letterman was a big fan of yours and booked you guys on the show, or booked your band on the show, you on the show.
Yep.
Mr. Billy Gibbons, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. If he isn't, he should be. I'm pretty sure he is.
He is.
Yeah. You did that great song, This Beard Came Here to Party, which was, of course, big for the Boston Red Sox when they won the World Series in 2013. And Kid Rock, you wrote some stuff for us. So, like, Charlie Sheen apparently is a huge fan. How do you get this mix of characters as your fan base?
I don't know, man. It's kind of weird because I think I did my career backwards because I started on the Late Show with David Letterman and then basically met every hero along the way. And then the music followed. And I'm like, well, I got a good foundation of great supporters. And Charlie directed my music video.
Really?
That helped me get my first record deal. If you go watch Mostly Stoned, and we used the car from Navy SEALs. I almost died in the car during the video.
Oh, shit.
And he's been a big supporter. And like I said, Dave Letterman put me on the show when I was in my early 20s, which was wild. Back in 2008, you can see a beardless Tim Montana, terrified, at the Ed Sullivan Theater. But yeah, man, I've just been on this wild journey across the country, across the world, and just, people are put in my path for whatever reason. And usually I befriend them. Sometimes it's because I like to wrestle people. And, I've wrestled a lot of those folks. And then they
tackle Letterman on air?
No, but I did get into it with Dave Grohl. I tackled him in a 5-star restaurant in New York, and a SEAL Team 6 veteran took me off of him and was like, "We don't wrestle Dave Grohl." Yes, sir. My God.
Yes, sir.
And I got Dave to admit that story on an interview. He's like, I'm like, "What's the wildest thing you've ever seen me do?" He's like, "You tackled me in a 5-star restaurant in New York." And I was like, "Yeah, now it's official. It came from you."
That's awesome. So apparently you started, like you said, kind of backwards, and you've been doing music now for 15 years. Is it just now that you've kind of focused in on a sound, or like what has changed that makes it more like viable for you think, or like you seem like focused?
Yeah, I grew up listening to grunge and everything going on in Seattle, being in the Northwest Montana, and kind of went on this just path of, I've never really genre identified too much, but I was like a dude that was kind of geographically country, right? Because they're like, oh, Montana from Montana and blah, 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 and this and that. But I'm like, it's pretty metal up here in wintertime.
Yeah,
it's 50 below zero. And, you got a meth head blowing up a cricket on the road. That is not country music. So my label decided to take a single to rock radio. I think everyone was like, what is this guy? And it just started blowing up. So I'm like, it took me a long time to find that path, but it's working out, and I'm stoked.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Quick. How did you wind up on Broken Bow? How did that come about?
That was after me and Charlie Sheen did the Mostly Stone video, and that organically went bonkers and got tons of national press and was a huge independent release for me. They found out about me after that and ended up offering me a record deal through record producer Michael Knox, who has an imprint there. And they signed me and kind of, I've been there for a few years wondering what was going on. And then I turned in this, pretty hard rock project, and they're like, there it is. And I'm like, yeah, here we go. You guys should have told me that from the get-go. I have all those in my back pocket.
Well, we love the rock.
Nice. Well, Tim, I want to play a little bit. Well, first of all, I want to talk to you about Devil You Know. Then we're going to play a little sample of it. This is a very, very deep song about your personal life. And do you mind sharing this story about where these lyrics came from?
Yeah, I draw from a lot of childhood experiences. I learned to take a punch when I was 6, whatever. But I draw from a lot of that stuff. And I put in the video, I'm very honest and real with it. And I had my son plays me in the video in the little child abuse scene where I get the guitar out of my hands. And my wife's like, just because you need therapy doesn't mean our son is going to need therapy. He's a child.
She's a smart woman.
Yeah. I like being honest with it, and hopefully can inspire some kids, because I had a pretty rough growing up, but I didn't, a friend of a record producer said years ago, are you going to let that define you? Are you going to be that guy that's like, oh, poor me? Or are you going to go out and like tell the message of, hey, it's all right. Let's, get on with life, learn from these experiences and break the cycle. And so that was an important thing for me to do, is like, let's tell the story, break the cycle, move on, be the dad I never had, and go to support strip clubs all day. 7 days a week, 24/7.
Well, as soon as your son's 18 or 21, depending on the club you can bring him into.
Yeah, Montana, they're pretty loose up here.
I heard that about the strippers. I mean, the clubs.
Okay,
Okay, well, I unfortunately I can only play 30 seconds of this song for Spotify regulations and all that stuff. But what I do want to do is I want to tell everybody this song is a very emotional song. It goes through a lot of emotions, lows and highs. It's impossible to give you the entire feeling of this song in 30 seconds. So after you get done listening to our show, go on Spotify or YouTube or anywhere and check out the entire song. It's definitely a powerful song. So let's listen to 30 seconds of Devil You Know. I'm going to start it in at 39 seconds, and here you go.
Devil you know, devil you don't. I'm going out of my head, living my life on the ledge. I'm out here playing with fire. Who's gonna save me tonight? The devil you know, the devil you don't. The devil you know, the devil you don't.
Again, check the entire thing out wherever you find your favorite music. I frickin' love that song, man.
I mean, love that song too.
Powerful.
It's so powerful, man. Just right in the balls. It's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. Alon, what'd you think?
Yeah, first time I heard it, I like to, listen to it fresh so you get my honest reaction. Very cool. Had Shinedown vibes for me. Reminded me of Shinedown, like early Shinedown, which is the best Shinedown if you ask me. But anyways,
thank you.
Oh yeah, your vocals are great. Can't wait to hear the rest of it. I mean, obviously it's only a 30-second snippet, but very cool. Production is great on it. Your voice sounds great for sure. Fan.
Thank you.
Bob Chiappardi from stripjointsmusic.com. How's that working for you?
Well, this is so fresh and so new. I mean, we just cut the deal like 2 days ago. So it's like and so we had the opportunity to get Tim on the show. I mean, I said we got to get him on sooner than later instead of pushing it. So so glad to have him on. So glad to be able to present the song to the strip club community. We are actually sending it out to everybody tonight, so it'll be in everybody's inbox later this evening. So by the time you hear this show, by the time it's edited and Danny gets it up and out, you'll have it in your inbox. So grab it and play the hell out of it because it's worth it.
Yeah, Danny, get it up.
Wait, you might need a blue pill for that. Just kidding, Danny.
Hey!
Tim, so I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but you said
please do.
You tackled Dave Grohl. Any wild strip club stories you can share?
Oh gosh, yeah. Like I said, there's this joint here in Montana that we frequent. Recently, there's an unreleased video that I reached out to the owner of TEASERS and said, "Hey, can we send a stripper up here?" And we're on the set at the Montana Deer Lodge prison. My son's there, and my wife goes to strip clubs with me too. Hey, we ain't a bunch of Nashville squares. Come on, we've both been thrown out of strip clubs a few times.
Not a girl.
But one of the girls was there from the club at lunchtime. We're sitting there with the producers and directors, and she goes, "It's so good to see you again, Tim." And I'm like, "Oh." Everybody looks, and she goes, "Oh my God, I shouldn't say anything." And I'm like, "Well, go ahead and say it. I mean, you open the door now, so the imagination is going a million places." I didn't remember her at all, right? And so she was like, "Well, you came in one night with a guy, I think he was your brother." And I'm like, "That checks out." Like, and you went in the back room, but I shouldn't say any more. I'm like, "Just say it." And she's like, "You were the utmost gentleman." And I was like, "Oh, winner." You know, I mean,
There you go.
I was wearing a wrestling singlet, but whatever.
And Crocs, and he had the Astroglide. It spilled on him accidentally prior to going back. We don't know why.
Covered in lube.
Yeah.
I love the just a gentleman story, because that means that she finally, halfway through spilling the beans on everything, said, "I wonder how I can get myself out of this mess." Yeah. So I'll say he was a gentleman. Yes.
I'm the only gentleman at the Gentlemen's Club, allegedly.
That's right.
Allegedly.
That night.
We cater to your type. It's in the name. We like good guys.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what I want to find out is how your fans can reach you. Are you on social media? I assume. Do you have a tour set up? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, social media at Tim Montana on Instagram. I respond to all my own stuff. Give me a minute, but I'll get right back to you. And we just announced a tour with called the Tailgate Tour with Stained, Seether, St. Nasonia that starts next spring. We're really excited about that. I'm friends with Aaron Lewis from Stained and become buddies with Sean from Seether. So I'm excited to get to go on the road with these guys finally. And so that starts in the spring. But yeah, shoot me a message, DM. You know, a lot of fake accounts out there. If they don't send a nude, then it's not me.
One more question here that I have before Danny wraps this up. But all right, so now you've got the attention of the adult nightclub industry with this podcast. Why should the strip club DJs be playing this song, in your opinion?
I think it's a good song. I think there's a good connection, and there could be some sexy dance moves to "Devil You Know" or "The Devil You Do." Let me display real quick. Thing I'm vibing on. And yeah, I grew up in the strip clubs. I mean, come on, you got to support your own, right?
There you go. Exactly. There you go.
You do have a good speaking voice. So I'm just curious, have you ever DJ'd in a strip club, or have you ever wanted to DJ in a strip club and call a girl to stage?
I think I should, and I may have when I had a few too many. I believe I did one time in Montana. Not many people will drive 4 or 5 hours for a good club up here. But I do recall a night where I think I did, or they definitely play my songs in there. This beard came here to party was something to see. they were, different beards, but same thing.
I hope they shaved that shit. Anyway,
well, look,
it's ZZTop.
Here you go. Here, Tim, we're going to feed you. Ready? So you're going to call Siren to the main stage. So here's your chance to be a strip club DJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Siren to the main stage.
Hey, there you go.
Nice. You're going to end up replacing that guy who's up there at TEASERS. Yeah.
Right.
Now, Tim, really, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. We're going to get this out. Now, here's the thing. Entertainers that are listening, most of you will now have the opportunity to request a lot of your own music. So make sure you get this. Tell your DJs about it. DJs tell your entertainers about it. Managers, you should be on this. Play this song, man. Let's see if we can get it played in strip clubs, and let's see if we can get it to chart on the PANDA Top 20 strip club chart for next month. Sound good?
Yeah.
I like it.
Lady soon.
There you go. Tim, go ahead, Alan. Oh, you did your finger up thing. Okay. Tim, thanks so much for coming on Panda Off the Charts. We're gonna we're gonna make you even a bigger star than you already are. So thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.